Today in our 2019 Honda Odyssey, you're going to be taking a look at, I'm going to show you how to install the etrailer.com Class 3 trailer hitch receiver, part number E98855. That's what our hitch looks like when it's installed. As you can see, the cross tube is visible. However, it has a round tube design, so it fits really well with the contour of the vehicle. It's not going to hang down really low from the bottom of our bumper fascia. It's also going to sit, receiver tube is going to sit inside the outermost edge, so we're not going to have to worry about hitting our legs or our shins on it when we're loading and unloading the back of the vehicle. It's going to be a Class 3 hitch. It's going to be 2 inch by 2 inch. We're going to have a 5/8 inch hitch pinhole, which is this hole here. The hitch does not come with a hitch pin and clip. However, you can find it here at etrailer.com. Our receiver tube is going to have a reinforced collar to give us a little extra stability. We're going to have plate style safety chain loops. You can see here we're going to have plenty of room for different size hooks. One thing I really like about this hitch is it's going to have a triple carbide black powder coat finish, so it's really going to hold up well against chipping or scratching and reduce the risk of any rust or corrosion. Now, as far as our weight capacities go, we're going to have a 525 pound max tongue weight, which is a downward pressure on the inside of the receiver tube, and a 3,500 pound max trailer weight, which is a trailer plus a load included. I do recommend checking the owner's manual of your Odyssey to make sure your vehicle can withstand that amount of weight. We're going to go with the lowest number between the vehicle and the hitch. Now, you can use weight distribution with this hitch. The tongue weight is going to stay the same. However, your trailer weight is going to go up to 5,000 pounds. Now let's give you a few measurements to help you when deciding on any hitch mount accessories you may need, such as a bike rack, ball mount, or cargo carrier. From the center of the hitch pinhole to the outermost part of the bumper will be about 3 inches. From the ground to the top innermost part of the receiver tube will be about 13 inches. Now let's show you how to get this installed. To start our installation, your directions are not going to tell you this, but to make your installation a little bit easier, this extra step is going to help. We're going to lower our exhaust because we're going to have 2 weld nuts and a hole over here in our frame rail that we need to access for to put our hardware in. So how we're going to do this is we're going to take a strap. You can hang it from anywhere. You can secure it on the back of the vehicle. I like to go from the springs because they're easily accessible. Just like that. And then we're going to have a rubber hanger here, and we're going to have a rubber hanger back here. We're going to take some silicone lubricant, and we're going to spray down our hanger like that. We'll take some channel locks. If you have a pry bar works too. Channel locks don't work all the time because of the spacing. Just like that. And then for this one back here, we'll take our pry bar, we'll wedge it, we'll find somewhere to wedge it here. We'll just start working it off. Just like that. And we'll take our strap and loosen it up a little bit. What we don't want, we have another hanger up there. What we don't want is we don't want this to rest on itself. We want to support it so it doesn't mess with the exhaust pipe up ahead of it. Next, we're going to have our exhaust deflector. 2 push pin fasteners here on the outside. Take a flathead screwdriver, pry out the center. Once you get the center out, you want to make sure when you pull this out, you get the base with it. If the center does come out, you can always put it back in. Just make sure you pull off the base too. And here on our driver's side, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 more push pin fasteners we need to take out. We'll take a 10mm socket. We're going to have a bolt right here. And then we're going to have a Phillips head screw right here on the inside of our fender well. Once you remove your screw, you remove your panel, and we'll set it aside. Next, we have a weld nut, and an open hole in our frame rail. It's going to be the same on both sides. We're going to start with this one here. We're going to have a pull wire. You're going to take one of your carriage bolts, and you're going to have a spacer block. Put the spacer block on, thread on your carriage bolt, slide the head of the carriage bolt in the hole first, then your spacer block, and you're going to pull it back down through. Do the same thing on the other side of the vehicle. Now we'll set our hitch into place. We're going to utilize our exhaust to hold our hitch on this side while we put one of our bolts or hardware in on the other side. If you have an extra person, it's always better to have an extra person help hold your hitch in place until you get that hardware in. Over here, we're going to take our pull wire, put it through the corresponding hole. We'll raise our hitch into position. We're going to take a hex bolt, conical tooth washer. You want to make sure the teeth are facing towards the hitch. And we're going to thread it into one of the holes. Then we're going to do that same thing on the other side of the vehicle. Now that we have a bolt on each side holding our hitch in place, we can install our remaining hardware. For our bolt with our pull wire, after you remove the pull wire, you can see that this bolt moves. To make it easy, if you take your finger, push it against the hitch, that'll help hold it in place while you get the nut on. Then you're just going to repeat that process on the other side of the vehicle. Next, we'll take a 19mm socket and we'll tighten all of our hardware. Once you have all your hardware tightened, you can torque it to the specifications and the instructions. Repeat that for all remaining hardware. Once you have your hitch torqued down, or your hardware torqued down for your hitch, you can reinstall your exhaust. Once you've got your exhaust back up, you can remove your strap. Once you have your exhaust back in place, you can reinstall your exhaust deflector. As far as your panel for the driver's side, it tells you to leave it off, but gives you the option to reinstall or to trim it and reinstall it. However, it does not give you any directions on what to cut. So that's going to be completely up to you on trimming it and putting it back in. That'll do it for a look at and installation on the etrailer.com Class 3 trailer hitch receiver, part number E98855 on our 2019 Honda Odyssey.